Well, tensions are running hot, and towards the end of the season, we have exciting action here at Clyde P. Smith Field. The NCS Division II top two teams facing off here. Novato High School traveling on the road. The Hornets rumbling here into Santa Rosa, and in the shadow of the cross on the hill, the Cardinals take the field to play some defense and get us going here. Hello, everyone. I'm Hugo Traverso, joined alongside by Paulo Maravilla. And tonight's game is going to be pretty exciting. We've got a bit of a morning game on prom day, Paulo. And, we've got, for the Cardinals, Kenny Week on the mound. Week this year has posted a 9.33 ERA. And despite that 9.33 ERA, he has some speed on his stuff. And so far for Week in about 6 innings pitched, 11 runs, 8 of those which are earned, 6 strikeouts, and 11 walks. What are you looking for Week to do here in this game, Paulo?
Well, Hugo, Week is a very dominant junior pitcher. He's got a great fastball and an even better breaking ball. A really good Major League Baseball comparison to him would be the Seattle Mariners ace, Brian Wu. Movement from all different forms of pitches, and he should be looking to dominate these Mustangs here today.
Well, yeah, it is Novato who comes in here, their starting lineup. Gio Casting, the man behind the plate, leads off, followed by Hunter Lynch at first. Then Julian Oliver, the power-heavy shortstop, bats third. Griffin Vorhaus piggybacks off of him, batting cleanup. Batting fifth, Trevor Cleary at third base. Sixth is Cohen Garcia in right field. Jackson Cronin, the pitcher, bats seventh. Dom Paracchiotti bats eighth, the second baseman, and rounding out the lineup, Owen Von Barren. The man who is not batting for Novato is CJ Castro, the center fielder. So Week makes his final warm-up pitches as we are set to go here. The defense for the Cardinals, Week and Jacob Wood make the battery. Right to left in the infield, Caden Owen, Jace Woolley, Colin Bone, and Jamie Vozaitis. And then left to right in the outfield, Brody Cameron, Devlin Chavez, and Julian Servin. So the Cardinals are set and ready to go here. Gio Casting will step into the right-handed batter's box, and we will get set to go.
For the Hornets, their catcher number 22, Casting.
So Gio Casting will wait as Jacob Wood will come back and drop into his squat, and we will get set and ready to go here from Clyde P. Smith Field in beautiful Sonoma County. Glorious day here, 60 degrees and sunny. Clear day. Kenny Weeks comes set. Week kicks and fires. First pitch is inside, 1-0, 10:02 the first pitch time. Attendance is about 100, and the weather currently 60 degrees and sunny. Week collects himself, fires pitch number 2. That one in there for a called strike. Fastball across the letters of Casting's jersey. Novato wearing black jerseys, gold trim, gold lettering, gold numbering. Cardinals with their classic white home jerseys, red numbering and lettering, and gold trim. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs to Casting. 2-1 now. Gio Casting, lethal hitter for Novato. Great leadoff man. Batting .296. Here's the pitch. Swing, and he hits this one high and off to the right. Giving chase is Servin, but it will fall out of play. 2-2. Not every day you see a catcher leading off, but Novato gonna have their man. Strong catcher, Paulo. We saw him in warm-ups. He was looking good.
Oh, definitely, Hugo. He's got a great arm. It was almost electric. He was just throwing it perfectly to runner at first and second, practically playing catch with his players.
So Week retoes the slab, and we are set and ready to get back to business here. 2-2 to Casting. Week kicks and fires. Swing, and this one is hit shallow left field. Coming in on it is Cameron, and he will make the catch for the first out of the ball game. So Casting is retired, and now Hunter Lynch comes to the plate. Lynch batting .333 coming into this one with a homer and 14 RBI. So let's see if he can get things started for the Hornets. Week on the mound. Comes set, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball got the bat going early there. He gets set here. The 0-1 now to Lynch. Big right-handed hitter. The pitch. Swing, and he lines this one into left field. Coming in on his Cameron, but it will fall. And a single as Novato, the Hornets, have their first base runner of the ball game here in the top of the first inning.
An interesting approach by Weeks. He went fastball first pitch against Lynch, in which he swung and whiffed at. But the second pitch, he went almost exact same spot with that same fastball, and Lynch was able to make contact with it, and a great follow-through that resulted in a single.
Well, yeah, Julian Oliver now stands in. The pitch now in there, called strike at the belt buckle. Oliver, 3 homers, batting .364, 4 doubles, 20 RBIs. So good year for him. Hunter Lynch leads off of first. Week checks on the runner. Checks again, comes set, and fires. That one is inside to Julian Oliver.
And it looks like Weeks trying to command that inside fastball, always trying to get ahead, but the last 2 batters have been able to make contact with that fastball.
That one is a foul tip into the glove of Jacob Wood behind the plate. 1-2. You might need to watch out if you're Novato, because it seems like Week could be tipping his pitches with how he strides. He has a high leg kick for some of his pitches, a low leg kick for others, like you just saw there. He went short stride. Goes short stride again. This is a fastball. This is hit high into the air, into right field. Coming in on it in full speed and making the catch is Julian Servin.
That was great defense by Servin. This is the second game in a row in which Servin has played in right field. And it's safe to say that last game he was able to show himself and show his true talent that he hasn't really been able to develop here on the varsity level in his senior year. But today, that's just another glimpse of what great defense and great speed he has in the outfield.
Here we go. Now it's the cleanup hitter, Griffin Vorhaus. Vorhaus had a great outing against Marin Catholic on Thursday. Here's the pitch. This one is inside to Vorhaus. 1-0. Stands in. The 1-0 coming here from Week. Nope, he will check back at Lynch again. Novato might be looking to play some small ball. The implications of this game are massive. Currently, Novato, the number 1 seed in NCS Division II. Cardinal Newman ranked 11th, but they have head-to-head wins over number 6 Casa Grande and number 7 Windsor, as that pitch is in the dirt. 2-0. So if they win this game, they will likely be in sole possession of the Division II number 1 spot. These two teams played in the Boris. Had a tough Boris schedule as the runner goes. The pitch is hit high into the air into shallow right field. And coming in on it, making the play, is Julian Servin. So the side is retired. Novato gets 1 hit and leaves that runner stranded. Nothing after 1 gives us a chance to look at the Cardinal Newman batting order, which is as good as ever. Colin Bone leads off. He's followed by Jace Woolley, the table setters. Jamie Volzaitis, Miles St. Clair, Caden Owen, and Brody Cameron make out the power alley. And then Jacob Wood, Julian Servin, Devlin Chavez go 7, 8, 9 for the Hornets. In the infield, it is going to be Hunter Lynch at first, Dom Paracchiotti at second, Julian Oliver at short, and then Trevor Cleary at third. Left to right in the outfield, Owen Von Barren, CJ Castro, and Cohen Garcia. And then the battery will be Jackson Cronin and Gio Castang. So Cronin on the year, we get to get a little dive into his stats. .467 ERA. Very, very solid pitcher. But he's only seen 3 innings this year on the varsity side of things. The junior has given up 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in those 3 innings. So we'll see what he can do here, getting his first start of the year for the Hornets. And they've had such a good 1-2 punch of J.P. Harmon and Griffin Vorhaus. But due to the 3-game week, they're going to have to pitch Cronin here. We thought we might see Hunter Lynch, but no, he came in to close. So maybe we'll see him a little bit today. I'm not totally sure. Anyways, that's the strength that Newman has, is they have a solid 3-4 starting pitchers that can really go on any given day. And they're only going to give up 3 to 4 runs. Marky Douglas, he maybe gives up 2 each outing. So the Cardinals are definitely going to be a tough team to play against in the playoffs, Paulo.
Definitely. Coach DeBenedetti has so much starting pitching depth. He can go Kenny Weeks. He can go Marky Douglas. He can go Will Pratt. He can go so many directions. Anthony Acevedo. There's so many different guys that can contribute to this starting pitching staff, and that also attributes to their defense. They have great outfielders. They have great infielders. All these guys have learned the fundamentals of the game, and it's just really showing that they can use the fundamentals and win some ball games.
Well, now Colin Bone stands in, the shortstop, batting .333 on the year. Here's the first pitch to Bone. That one is upstairs and over his head. 1-0. Cronin working with some velocity here, but not a lot of command. The 1-0 on the way from Cronin. Swiss. Fouled that one in. That was right down the middle. And a big swing there from Colin Bone. Woolley waits on deck, followed by Vozaitis in the hole. Here comes the pitch from Cronin. That one is just high and outside to Bone. 2-1. Something good that Bone's been able to do in the past few games is just see pitchers deep and get some good outcomes. Here's the pitch. That one is called strike. Came in just below the knee of Bone, but called a strike. 2-2 now with nobody down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Casting. Bone battling here. On a 2-2 count. The 2-2 on the way here from Cronin. Swing, and this one is hit opposite field down the right field line, but way out of play.
Bone is a 3-year varsity athlete. He started on this Cardinal Newman team for 3 years at shortstop. So he's definitely a lay of the land at the position as well as in the batter's box. So that's why he's battling so hard here.
Here's the pitch, and this one is grounded foul down the third base line. Two and two with no outs. Bone battling here. Cronin shakes off Casting twice. Now comes set and will fire. This one is swung on and hit foul off to the right and out of play. Bone battling here. In this 2-2 count. Cronin's pitch count getting up here early. Here comes the pitch. Looks like they're going to go for the knees. Nope, he can't locate the breaking ball. It goes just high, crosses over Bone's collarbone. 3-2.
That's a good breaking ball there, Hugo.
And the last 3 games, Bone has worked a full count in his first at-bat. Here's the pitch. And that one is way up at Bone's head, and he walks.
That's a great at-bat there by Colin Bone, the star shortstop, playing in the one spot. You know, that really shows how much battle and versatility that this team has, as well as the fact of being down 1-2 in a count and being able to battle back all the way to a walk shows just great adversity by the kid as well as to the rest of the team.
Yeah, .423 on-base percentage. Definitely climbing here. Bone, a lot of walks for him this year. Here comes Jace Woolley. The first pitch to him, he shows bunt. That one is just outside and in the dirt. 1-0. Good job by Castang to keep that in front of him. He's going to be definitely tough, a tough guy to run on. Third baseman playing in on the infield grass. Here's the pitch, and that one is low and outside at Woolley's ankles. So now 2-0 count to Jace Woolley, who's been one of the Cardinals' best hitters this year, batting .432. Pick over to Bone. It gets out of the glove of Lynch and squirts away into foul territory. And over to second on the air is going to be Colin Bone.
You got to go, and he made it second, so great job there by Colin.
And error assessed against the first baseman, Lynch. Now corner infielders playing in on the grass. The 2-0 now to Woolley. That one is in there, called strike. Caught the bottom outside part of the zone with that one. Now 2-1. Woolley collects himself, rotates his bat a couple times, and waits. Cronin, here's the pitch. That one is in there, called strike at the knees. Home plate umpire has been calling those low fastballs that are around the knees, maybe in the shin area, calling those strikes. So you're going to have to expand the zone a little bit here if you're Jace Woolley. 2-2 with nobody out. Bone leads away from second. Cronin checks on him. The pitch. This one is lined to second base. Play is made. The throw to first, or to second, excuse me. Not in time, but a line out there for Jace Woolley.
Brings up Cardinals third baseman number 9, Jamie Vosaidi.
Well, now Jamie Volzaidis will step in.
Jamie kind of being a co-captain of this team as a junior, he's shown real leadership skills in playing the third base position, as well as batting well over .450 on the season. So a real big star here for the Cardinals with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, he's batting .500 now. One down. Bone at second. Cronin collects himself, stares down Bone. Bone playing some happy feet over there at second. Here's the pitch. This one is low and outside to Volzaidis to start him off. 1-0. Bone was quick to get back after that line out to second.
Great base running there by shortstop.
Here we go. Cronin steps off. Get his signs. Here's the pitch. This one is swung on and hit high in the infield. Over on it is Pericotti, and Pericotti makes the catch. So back-to-back plays made by the second baseman, and now it brings up Miles St. Clair, who was 2 for 2 in Thursday's game. See what he can do here.
Miles, a player coming back from injury. It was great to see a guy go 2 for 2, 2 singles, a run, RBI, and a walk. So great job there by the veteran senior.
Left-handed hitter against the righty Cronin. Bone over at second. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is hit down the left field line and out of play. Foul. 0-1 now to St. Clair. Cronin trying to get out of the inning here. Bone leads away. Here's the pitch. That one is outside and high. 1-1 now to St. Clair. Runner on second. St. Clair. That's that front foot offset. Big pole hitter. Here's the pitch from Cronin. That one is upstairs and inside. Good work there by St. Clair to battle here. 2-1. Caden Owen waits on deck. Lefties back-to-back here in this lineup. Cronin looks in. And they'll check on the runner Bone at second. Throw is not in time as Bone is back quickly. St. Clair waits. Cronin. The pitch. That's upstairs. Casting. Pump faked to second. But Bone was back in time. 3-1. Problem for Novato is with the fielding issues. If Casting throws it down and can't find a glove, then Bone might even be coming around to score. 3-1 with 2 down. St. Clair, buffet pitch, the pitch. That one is fouled off and to the left. 3-2. So we go the distance here. Full count with 2 down and a runner on second. Owen on deck. Cronin throws those low fastballs. Owen will definitely be feasting on them. 3-2 now to St. Clair. Here's the pitch. Swing, and he hits this one into left field. That one will fall quickly, but a catch made by Owen Von Barron, and the side is retired. So, after one, it is 0-0. You're listening to Cardinal Newman Baseball here on Hugo Sports 360 Radio.
Ethan on the box is actually fucking awesome.
And we're back here. It is going to be Trevor Cleary leading things off. Cleary will be followed by Cohen Garcia, Jackson Cronin, and Paracchiotti. So Cleary, righty, stands in here. A lot of righties in this order, which could work to Weeks' benefit. Here's his first pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Gets the bat going early. Cleary was swinging out of his shoes for that one. Oh and 1 now to Cleary. The pitch. That one is upstairs. 1-1. Cardinals gonna have their 5, 6, 7 due up in the second. Weak trying to control things here. Here's the pitch. That one in the zone. Beautiful pitch. Right at the belly button of Cleary. 1-2. 1-2 with nobody out. Weak collects himself. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is hit hard into center field. Over to his right is Chavez, and he will make the catch.
And that's a great run down there by Chavez. He was able to locate it, get to it quickly, and make the catch. So it's a great job, as well as Kenny Week, who's been able to dominate the strike zone with his fastball. And that at bat, he was able to really utilize his slider there, which is something new we haven't seen.
Cohen Garcia now coming to the plate. Garcia, big righty, donning the number 55. Here's the pitch, check swing, and he fouled it off. Pitch was high and inside, and it got off of his bat. Kind of one of those ones that really just kind of hurt if you're the hitter. Can kind of remove you mentally from the game. Garcia batting .364 coming into this one. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is hit high over down the first base line and out of play. 0-2 now, so Week making quick work. And I know, I mean, college isn't high school, but last night saw the University of Miami face off against Stanford, and University of Miami pitcher Rob Evans went 105 pitches across 7 2/3 innings, had a lot of first pitch strikes. Here's the pitch from Week, and that one's way high at eye level for Garcia. 8 strikeouts. He had 7 strikeouts in his last 4 innings of work. So unbelievable outing from him. Got him the win. Miami won that 6-2. They're back on the farm at 2:05 today. 1-2. The pitch. Swing, and this one is fouled straight up and out of play. So 1-2. Still the count. Garcia battling here. Righty pull hitter. The flags are dormant here, so no wind compared to that wind bowl on Thursday. Here comes the pitch from Week. Swing, and this one is hit high in the air off to the first base side and out of play. To him is a slider outside. Outside. One and 0 now to Cronin. The pitch, that one's upstairs at his neck. 2-0. So 2-0 now. Coming to Cronin. He's batting .296 on the year. Paracchiotti waits on deck. See if he gets an at-bat here. Hitters count now on the way. That one is in there. Called strike at the waist of Cronin. Funny enough, lots of different Jackson Cronins around this area. We have Ukiah kid Jackson Cronin, Windsor kid named Jackson Cronin, and now Novato has a Jackson Cronin of their own. So a lot of guys named Jackson Cronin around here. Here's the pitch. That one's at the knees of Cronin for a called strike 2. 2-2. Cronin takes a minute, steps back in. Low batter stance, squats a little bit. Weeks comes center. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt, trying to urge a chase out of Cronin. 3-2 now. Coach Michael Paul waiting out there around the bullpen, getting foul balls down that left field line. Talking to Carmine Guevara's mom. The 3-2, the pitch, swing, and that one's fouled straight back and into the net. Good job there by Cronin to battle.
Coach Paul has been a very valuable addition to this Cardinal Newman team, allowing to definitely construct and instruct some of the infielders here.
Week delivers the 3-2, and that one skips in the dirt. Cronin walks. And now that'll bring up Dom Paracchiotti.
And that's exactly what you did. Great job in commanding that fastball. Now that slider here in the second inning is what we've figured out what he's developed. But we'll see what happens here as he faces number 99.
We're live, but it's Jerry Cameron. Here's the first pitch from Week to Paracchiotti, and that one is just a bit high. Fastball. Paracchiotti, bit of a smaller guy. Von Barron, a righty. The pitch to Pericchiotti. That one is inside. Almost got him at the shoulder. He got out of the way. 2-0. So Week coming a little wild here in the past few pitches. He's definitely got to recover and so Wood will come out and talk to him.
I think Wood's just going to make sure that Kenny regathers his thoughts, make sure that you got to locate that four-seam fastball, maybe on the outside this time. He's definitely been trying to get hitters to move their hands quick to it with the fastball on the inside, but maybe if he starts to locate it on the outside, hitters might swing a little more. We'll see what happens. It's just a little regrouping.
Yeah, that slider has been good for him too, especially against righties, and this Novato lineup is all righties. So he can really get that working for him, and he's a really good guy when he's facing righties. Lefties, not so much, but we'll see what he can do here. Trying to get out of the inning. 2 down, runner on first. Week checks back at the runner. Two and 0, the count to Pericchiotti. Weak. Comes center. Kicks and delivers. That one is upstairs. Back pick from Wood is a little too high for Caden Owen's liking. And Cronin gets back in time. So 3-0 the count now from Weak to Pericchiotti. Owen Von Barren, the 9-hitter, waits on deck. So you don't want to get kind of a rally going here with 2 down for Novato. Here's the pitch. That one is low, and Pericchiotti will see if he might get up in the pen here soon. He's been kind of the guy that see if he might get up in the pen here soon. He's been kind of the guy that normally goes after a week. Cardinals definitely this year with the pitching depth, running it almost like a minor league team with their scheduled pitching and everything. But we might also see Anthony Azevedo coming back from injury. So we'll see how deep Kenny goes. And right now, a solid first inning, and if he can get out of it, a solid second. Just coming a little wild over the past two batters. So Owen Von Barren now stands in, the 9-hole hitter, center fielder. I think 226 for the Hornets this year. Kenny Weak looks in. Weak gets his sign, takes his stride. 2 down. Here comes the pitch to Von Barren. Weak collects himself, kicks and fires. That one is in there, called strike at the chest across the letters of Von Barren. Weak just really gonna need to attack here. Only given up 1 hit to these Hornets so far. See what he can do. Here's the 0-1 now from Weak. The offering. Swing, and this one is a slow grounder right back to the mound. Weak will mosey on over to first, toss it to Caden Owen, and this side is retired. So Kenny Weak works down to the jam. Novato leaves 2 runners stranded. We'll be right back. Due up for the Cardinals, it will be Owen, Cameron, and Wood. You're listening to Cardinal Newman Baseball on Hugo Sports 360 Radio.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Cardinals.
And the Cardinal Newman.
Cade
now
Newman is definitely a crucial player to this Cardinal Newman team. I mean, being that star first baseman, he's able to hit, he's able to play good defense. He's been a guy that Coach Benedetti can rely on for a while.
0-1 now coming to Owen. Cronin kicks and delivers. This one is hit high in the air to left field. Back on it is Barron. He will come in and make the catch. So Owen is retired. So now Brody Cameron will come to the plate. Right-handed hitter.
Brings up Cardinals left fielder, number 15, Brody Cameron.
So Cameron will be followed by Wood. We'll see if the Cardinals are able to get the bottom of the lineup up here. One down. Here's the pitch to Cameron. That one is in there. Called strike on the outside part of the zone at the knees of Cameron. Beautiful day. Starting to get up there. Pick up prom day. A lot of anticipation here for the Cardinal Newman seniors and juniors. Here's the pitch. And in there for a called strike 2. 0-2. 0-2 with one down. Here's the pitch to Cameron. Swing, and that one is chopped foul off to the left side. So now 0-2 quickly here. Cronin making short work of these Cardinals early on here in the second inning. Owen 2 with one down. Cronin kicks and fires to Cameron. That one is up at his head. Cameron gets out of the way of that one. Owen 2 with one down to Cameron. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball fouled off hard on the ground down the left field line.
Definitely putting up a battle for Cameron.
Yeah, he's a good player when it comes to battling. I mean, you know, batting 200 on the year, he's been solid. So, see if he can get on here and maybe procure a rally for the Cardinals. Here's the pitch. That one is at his shins, 1-2.
Very close pitch there, Hugo.
Yeah, Cronin's gotten that call a couple times already, so he's a little bit confused with that. Front fouls it off to the left. Third inning, we'll have Kenny Week coming back to the rubber for the Cardinals, and we'll see what he can do against the top of the order for the Hornets. 0-1 now to Wood. Breaking ball falls beautifully into the strike zone, right down Santa Rosa Avenue there, and Wood just was frozen. 0-2 now. Cronin pounding the zone here in the second inning. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is hit straight up in on the infield. Over on it is Cleary. He'll be called off by Castaigne, the catcher, who makes the play along the foul line. And the side is retired. So quick work. The Cardinals go 3 up, 3 down. 3 down. We'll be right back with the third inning here on the Hugo Sports 360 Radio Network. Welcome back here. Top of the third inning. Castang followed by Hunter Lynch, and then Julian Oliver.
Back to the top of the order for the Hornets with their catcher, number 22, Castang.
For the Hornets here. In the top of the third inning, Kenny Week getting some good innings here. Cardinals still being held hitless by the starter Jackson Cronin. Top of the third now, and the second time through the order for the Hornets. Gio Casting, he flew out to left field back in the first. Here comes the first offering from Kenny Week. He fires. That one is upstairs over the head of Castang. Castang flew out to left field and was a line drive, but Cameron made a nice play on it. 1-0 now. Week delivers. Swing, and this one is hit hard on the ground to third. Bozaitis makes the play, throw on to first in time. And Castang is retired. So now Hunter Lynch will come to the plate.
First baseman, number 25, Lynch.
Lynch singled to left last time up. Another hard hit ball. One down here as Week delivers. This one is hit straight up in the air into left center field. In on it is Chavez. He will range back and make the catch. 2 down. So Cardinals again making short work of the Hornets. This could show to be a very, very interesting playoff matchup. A playoff matchup we're almost guaranteed to see. The Hornets and Cardinals likely to be the top 2 seeds in Division II. 2 teams that likely will. This one is way upstairs. It'll go all the way to the backstop. No bother for Wood, though, as nobody is on base.
Struggle's been in command for Kenny here, but honestly, he's done a great job here going into the top of the third, and let's see what he can do to try to get out of it.
2-0 now to Oliver. Week delivers. This one is swung on and hit in the infield. Over on it is the shortstop, Bone. He will range towards second base and make the catch. So the side is retired. 1, 2, 3. Go the Hornets. We'll be right back. Bottom of the third is looming here. Cardinals will try and break onto the scoreboard, but Jackson Cronin has been rolling. Stay with us. 0-0 here at Clyde P. Smith Field. By now. It's great seeing, here we go, we're back. Great seeing, here we go, we're back. Here's the pitch. Welcome back. This one is a slow fly ball in the infield. Servin got jammed on that one. Hunter Lynch over on it. He makes the catch. And so now Devlin Chavez will come up.
Devlin, a guy who's kind of struggled here in this season, but so far.
Here's the pitch to Chavez. Chavez lines this one into right field, and it'll get down. And the first hit of the ball game for the Cardinals comes from an unlikely bat. Devlin Chavez starts things off for the Cardinal, and it looks good.
It's always good to see a guy heat up. Devlin batting 176 going into the game. But, you know, anything can happen when you start to heat up, Hugo. The ball looks a little bit bigger each and every time you go up to the plate. You add some more confidence, and Devlin shows that he can hit and he can play. As Colin Bone will go up the back.
Bone, the right-handed hitter, stands in. Here comes the pitch to him. Chavez leads away. He lines this one into foul territory down the right field line. Over on it is Garcia, and he makes the catch. Great chase there by Garcia.
Definitely, and honestly, great contact there by a challenging
Brings up
pitch.
Cardinal second baseman number
Colin Bone was able to get to
17,
it, not the
Jace
result he wants. Same thing with Julian Servin. Those are just tough pitches to get to, and you really got to move your hands quick. So kudos to the pitcher as Jace Woolley will step up at bat.
Yeah, we'll see what Woolley can do here. Lined out to second his first time up. Here comes the first pitch from Cronin. That one is at his ankles. 1-0. 1-0 with 2 down. Chavez leads away. Here comes the pitch from Cronin. This one is swung on and grounded hard down the right field line, but foul. 1-1 now with 2 down. Woolley stands back in. Woolley waits. The pitch. Chavez goes, throw is outside, and this one from Casting is way offline. Luckily, second baseman Paracchiotti is there to field it, but oh my goodness. Chavez got a great jump too, so he steals second base and moves up. Now runner in scoring position for Jace Woolley.
That's just what you want, Coach Demonetti, reading that the pitcher is trying to attack the strike zone against Woolley, and Chavez just took advantage of that opportunity.
The 2-1 now to Woolley. Woolley hits this one off down the first base line and out of play, foul. So 2-2 now with 2 down. Chavez leads away at second. Casting looks so dialed in his warm-ups. You know, he's put it on the money every time. There's the one throwdown that he has missed by that much. Tough one there for him. 2-2 with 2 down. Chavez leads away at second. Here's Woolley battling here.
Jace Woolley is a very good pull hitter, Hugo. Jace loves pulling the ball. He loves swinging for the fences. He's just one of those guys who loves the ability to go out there every day and get a couple plate appearances and play great defense.
We apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the choppy feed. I don't know what's going on with the Starlink, but it is very, very finicky right now. 2-2 with 2 down. The pitch. That one's just high and outside for Woolley.
Woolley exchanging some words with the umpire, double-checking the count.
Yeah, he was a little confused with that one. I thought that was strike 3, but just a little outside there for the umpire's liking. Cronin toes the slab again, comes center. The 3-2 with 2 down. The pitch. That one is upstairs, and Woolley works a walk. Great job there by Jace.
And that brings up Jamie Volzaitis, who's done a phenomenal job this season, star third baseman. As Hugo was saying, he's batting .500 on the season as of today, and he's just done a phenomenal job. He got 2 runners on base with 2 out in the bottom of the third. 0-0 game, 1 hit for each team, and an error given to Novato.
And we'll see now as Volzaitis stands in. Here comes the first pitch to Jamie. Cronin delivers, and this one is fouled straight back and out of play. Cronin had a great second inning. Coming a little open here in the third. 46 pitches for him.
Real great job there by Cronin. He's been able to attack the strike zone against these Cardinals, and really it's been a pitching duel between Kenny Weeks and Cronin.
0-1 with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is lined up the middle, but a great catch made by Julian Oliver at short. And that is the inning. Novato gets out of it on a line drive there.
No score.
And we will step aside. Nothing after 3. We'll be right back. Welcome back here. 4th inning set and ready to go here at Clyde P. Smith Field. So far, nothing in through the first part of the game. Both teams only 1 hit. Vorhaus now comes to the plate. It'll be Vorhaus, Cleary, and Garcia. Here comes the pitch from Week. He kicks and delivers. That one is low and outside, 1-0. Vorhaus flew out to right field his last time up. Very unlikely pitcher's duel going so far. Week only 44 pitches so far. One and 0 now to Vorhaus as Week steps off. Here comes the 1-0, and that one's in the dirt. Gets past Wood. It was low and outside. So 2-1. Attendance has climbed here. Clyde P. Smith Field, maybe about 150 people now here with JV baseball. Here's the pitch. That one's in there. Called strike at the knees. 2-2. They play following this game. I feel like this is kind of a tradition here at Cardinal Newman, the prom day game where they play at 10 a.m. before prom, and then you have JV coming in and playing at 2. Well, it could be 1 p.m. We'll see when this game ends. Here's the pitch. That one is inside and high, 3-2. Novato making the trip up here. 2 years in a row, Newman has scheduled St. Mary's, and 2 years in a row, the Rams have been able to win the north of the Boris Classic and go down to San Diego and play in the championship. We wish them luck. Here's the pitch from Week. That one's inside on the full count, and Vorhaus works a walk.
Not exactly what you want to see there, as we see Anthony Acevedo is going to be heading to the bullpen, and that might be a sign that the senior might get a chance to make an appearance here to relieve Kenny Weeks in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah, definitely. Cardinals are going to definitely be looking for some length out of Week for putting in Acevedo. Bunt being shown here by Cleary, and Week steps off. His Showing bunt, I feel like before the first pitch of the at bat is definitely a sign that you might want to get ahead in the count. Here's the pitch. Weak pumps in a strike to Cleary. Cleary pulled back the bunt.
As a third baseman, Hugo, I played freshman baseball for the Cardinals as a third baseman. Showing bunt early is one of the scariest things when they pull it back when you're going up on there. So Jamie Volzaitis definitely had a bit of a scare there.
And Volzaitis playing on the infield grass. Here's the pitch. That one's high and inside, 1-1.
Very scary thing to do.
Yeah, I can imagine line drive right off your face would not feel good.
Not the best thing to happen, Hugo.
You might, in fact, not feel anything after that. Might not see anything after that.
Looks like Wood's going to be talking to Kenny again.
Yeah, if you're the catcher going out there to Kenny, what are you saying right now?
Definitely trying to give him some confidence, right? He had a 5-pitch walk there that didn't really result in the bat that he wanted. So just be like, I'm here for you. Just make sure that you throw your pitches. It's just making sure that you have confidence, take a breath, make sure you're executing.
Yeah, 1-1 the count now as Week stands in. Toes the slab here, 1-1. Morehouse leads away. Cleary showed bunt. The ball pitch was inside and high as Cleary pulled it away. Got in and out of the glove of Wood, and now Mike Flowers is going to head out to the mound to talk things over with his tall righty. Cooper McIntosh we're also seeing heading out there. I don't think he's going to...
He pitched on Thursday, I believe, right, Hugo?
He did pitch on Thursday, so I don't think we're going to see him getting warm, even though he is on the mound, just kind of throwing there. He did only go, I believe, 2 innings last game against San Marin, so we'll see what...
Definitely a quick turnaround, though, for McIntosh. Only, what is that, almost 2 days rest, a little less. And Coach Flowers is pleasantly talking to the home plate umpire, throwing some jokes out there, making sure everyone's interested.
Okay, reconnection.
The kick, the pitch, fastball.
Okay, reconnection.
The kick, the pitch, fastball, outside. Good idea, though, by Kenny.
See what hotspot.
I'm going to run a little play-by-play for a second.
Yeah, do it.
Kenny getting inside from Wood. Checks back on the runner. Weeks, sets, wind up, pitch. It's going to be grounded over to Woolley as he's going to throw it over to Bone. To Owen, double play. Gets out. The jam. Are we live now? Sounds different. Oh.
Yeah, so back up. The Wi-Fi has just been killing me today. It's been brutal. So
supposedly going to run a line from the Starlink.
Starlink hasn't really been working, but we'll be back.
It'll be okay, I think.
Monkey is here, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Cox's dog, as now Cohen Garcia comes in after the double play. 2 down. Kenny Week kicks and fires. This one is grounded right back to Week. Goes under his glove. Woolley makes the play. The throw to first. On the pick, and it goes in and out of Caden's glove. So a tough throw to first. And Owen can't make the play.
It's a tough play. Slow roller. It's past the pitcher. It's Woolley's job to get there as soon as humanly possible. And that's just a really tough throw from a tough angle. And just a really unlucky play, and it only happens a couple of times each game.
We'll see who they assess the error on there, as now Jackson Cronin stands in, the pitcher who's been rolling through this Cardinal Newman lineup. The first pitch to him, he hits this one high in the air down the right field line. Over on it is Owen, but it falls foul. They're going to call that a hit, but I'm going to assess that an error on Woolley because the throw was offline.
Week is a USA pitcher, so he's definitely had his use of experience here on the level, as he's going to come to a windup. Let's see what happens.
0-1. In there, called strike. Oh and 2 now, coming from weak to Cronin. Anthony Azevedo now throwing the full 60. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. That one's inside. Throw down is going to go into center field. Bone couldn't get there in time. Play is made, though, by Chavez in center field, and Garcia cannot move up. So Garcia credited with the stolen bag there. He moves in to second base, and now we're going to have a 1-2 count.
Here we go. We have Kenny Weeks in 1-2 count, 2 outs. He comes set. The windup, the pitch, fastball, hit on the ground, past Bone. It's going to go to Chavez. It's thrown home. Chavez rips it, and the ball slips under Wood's glove. The runner of, I believe that's going to be Garcia, is going to advance to second, and Novato gets their first scored, Hugo.
Yeah, Cronin, an RBI single there as Garcia came around to score. So Jackson Cronin helping himself out. 1-0 Novato. The Hornets lead it 2 down now as Week lets up his first run. Now Dan Paracchiotti will come to the plate.
Weeks trying to fight back. Still 2 outs. Top of the 4th. The wind up the pitch. This looks like a slider that's going to miss just high. Count will go 0-1. 1-0, excuse me.
Paracchiotti worked a walk his last time up, so we'll see what he can do here. He's got a great eye at the plate.
See what happens here. Wood shows pitch. Wait. What am I saying?
Going upstairs as Wood will come out to talk to his right-hander. No mound visit, because if they get a mound visit here, then they have to make a decision to pull. We have another bullpen catcher out there working with McIntosh. So it's McIntosh and Azevedo. You're going to see if Kenny can get through 4 here.
I believe that's Jack Wedge, Hugo, in the squad.
Yeah, I think that is Jack Wedge.
Getting work in behind the plate as well as in the outfield. It's great work. Coach DeBenedetti singling Julian Servant to move in. Weeks shakes the delivery. It's going to be hit softly. He's going to ground it, throws it to Owen, and that will end the inning. Hugo, who's coming up?
I'll do it for the Cardinals when we come back. Miles St. Clair, Caden Owen, and Brody Cameron. So the heart of the order will come through. Novato picks up their first run on a hit. They leave a runner stranded. We'll be right back. You're listening to Cardinal Newman Baseball on Hugo Sports 360 Radio. Welcome back here. Bottom of the fourth as Cronin goes into his fourth inning of work. His first pitch to Miles St. Clair is upstairs, 1-0. St. Clair, Owen, and Cameron due up for the Cardinals here in the fourth. Novato gets their first run on Cronin's base hit there as he kicks and deals. That one just high to St. Clair. 2-0, the pitch. That one is swung on and hit foul. Cardinal Newman hitters have done a great job taking Cronin the other way. The problem is it hasn't really fallen for hits. Owen, his last time up, took him the other way alongside St. Clair, but both were caught by Von Barron in left. Here's the pitch. That one is outside, and St. Clair well on his way to working a walk. 3-1 now the count.
Let's see if Cronin can kind of regather and find himself with that fastball, maybe locate it down and away, see what he does.
Here comes the pitch. That one is outside, and St. Clair walks. So no action in the Novato bullpen, but that could turn into a waterfall here for Novato. They don't want that to happen. Bone he walked to open up the first inning, and then Cronin bared down and got the next 3 outs in quick succession. So now we'll see what he can do here. Caden Owen now at the plate. I'll check back on the runner at first. Not in time. Owen, the left-handed hitter, standing 6'3", so height the advantage here for the Cardinals. St. Clair leads away. The pitch, that one's inside, almost gets Owen at his waist. 1-0.
Coach DeBenedetti talking to Brody Cameron there in the, on deck circle, kind of talking about how we need a rally here, make sure that we're making good decisions in the back.
Well, we saw that, Paulo, at least what you're saying, getting that rally. We saw that with on Thursday with Cameron as he laid down a bunt in his first at-bat to move runners over, ultimately led to the Cardinals getting a run. So he's a guy who, he works his job, and if he does it well, we'll see if the Cardinals can tie this thing up here. Second pitch is in, and it's low in the dirt to Owen. 2-0 now. Cronin will step off. He'll re-toe the slab now. St. Clair takes a big lead over at first. Checks on the runner. The pitch. This one is taken the other way. Down the left field line. Does it fall? It does! Fair! It'll kick into the left field corner. A rounding second and into third is St. Clair. He'll stop there. Into second with the double is Caden Owen.
And Caden Owen's signature double celebration is the trend that's going on social media. I believe it's called the scuba, Hugo.
Yeah, the scuba. Caden Owen moves St. Clair up, and now with runners on second and third, Brody Cameron will come to the plate. It'll be interesting to see how the Cardinals look to use Cameron in this spot. A fly ball, deep enough fly ball, definitely ties this thing up. And we'll see if he can deliver here.
Looks like Novato's going to have infield in, so trying to prevent that run of St. Clair coming in to tie the game.
Owen taking a huge lead at second. This pitch is fouled straight back.
That's a great piece of hitting by Owen. That really identifies who Owen is as a player. He was behind in the count, able to come back and be able to get that double right off the line. Just a great job overall by Owen.
0-1 now to Cameron. Infielders in on the infield grass. Owen takes a big lead over at second. The pitch. This one is swung on and driven into the left center gap. It gets down. It's cut off in left center by CJ Castro, who fires it in. Not one coming in, but two. Caden Owen roars around the bend, and just like that, the Cardinals have the lead.
And wow, what a phenomenal job by Brody Cameron. It looks like the manager of Novato is going to be taking out Cronin, but way to find the gap in the left center gap. That was just a phenomenal job. Coach DeBenedetti taught us as freshmen that you need to read the field before you get into the box. You need to know where the gaps are. You need to kind of understand situationally where you are before you step in, as Novato is going to be giving Cronin a applaud of his great heroism, getting 2 runs only to the Cardinals, as it looks like Wood will be heading up to the bag, but That was just such a great job by Brody Cameron, really understanding what's going on. He realizes there's such a huge gap in left center, and being able to just kind of tattoo it right over there. Great job as Anthony Acevedo continues to warm up in the bullpen.
Yeah, we'll see if the Cardinals go back to weak in the 5th. It would be nice to get some length out of him before giving Acevedo the ball. But we have a new pitcher for Novato, and it is going to be the sophomore. It is going to be Jenkins, Dylan Jenkins, the sophomore. So far this year, 3-sport athlete. Varsity baseball, varsity soccer, varsity water polo. He's the goalie for the varsity water polo team. Pitching-wise this year, he has a 117 ERA or 175 ERA in 5 appearances. Had a 117 ERA on varsity last year. Kind of interesting. At JV, he gave up 3 runs in 1 2/3 innings last year with a 12.60 ERA, and he comes to varsity and posts a 117 ERA. Playing against the big boys, and now we'll see what Jenkins can do when we come back. You're listening to Cardinal Newman Baseball on the Hugo Sports 360 Radio Network. And we're back here. So now Jacob Wood will stand in. Cardinals on a bit of a rally. Dylan Jenkins trying to end it here. Here's the pitch, and this one skips in the dirt. It gets away from Casting. Over to second on the wild pitch is Brody Cameron. Jacob Wood at the plate, so it's gone St. Clair leading off with a walk. Then Caden Owen lined a double down the left field line. And then Brody Cameron brought in both runners with a single. So 1-0 now to Jacob Wood as he's trying to continue the rally. Here's the pitch from Jenkins. That one is upstairs to Wood. 2-0.
And Hugo, I'd just like to mention, no player on this Cardinal Newman squad has a home run this year. So maybe Jacob Wood can make a change for that.
Yeah, definitely tough ballpark to hit a homer, and here's the pitch from Jenkins. Wood turns on this one, sends it high, cascading down the right field line and into the Cardinal Newman bullpen. He got close there, Paulo. We'll see what he can do.
Definitely, Hugo. I believe Wood is a great hitter. I've seen him play for around 3 years now, and he's got a great back. He's quick to the ball as well as a great defensive catcher. Reminds me of Buster Posey a little bit.
Here comes the pitch to Wood. He hits this one, a high chopper down the right field, or left field line, excuse me, but out of play. 2-2. Cameron on second with nobody out. Dylan Jenkins, the sophomore, trying to keep this a 2-1 ball game. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Newman is rolling. The 2-2. That one skips in the dirt.
Yes, he should be able to have a great night tonight.
3-2 now to.
Yes, he should be able to have a great night tonight.
3-2. Jacob Wood. Jenkins toeing the slab. Servant shows ball at the pitch. He grabs this one down the third base line. Coming in, the throw to first. In time. Great job there by Trevor Cleary, but both runners move up on the sacrifice. Coach Paul thought that was that he was off the bag. They're going to check. Nope, they're going to call him out. So they confirm that Servant is out. Lynch did try to apply the tag to Servant, but his foot was on the bag, it seems. So now it'll be up to the left-handed hitter, Devlin Chavez, who had a single and stolen base back in the 3rd inning. The Cardinals already bringing home 2 here. With 1 down, runners on second and third for Devlin Chavez. He stands in. Chavez batting average now over 200. He calls time. He'll step out, collect himself. Infielders in on the grass except for the second baseman in Dom Pericchiotti. 1 down. Here's the pitch to Chavez. That one is high and outside. 1-0.
Not the pitch you're looking for. I believe Chavez is looking for that outside fastball. And if he can get that, looks like he's going to take a simple approach and try to go contact and get those 2 runners in with saving all outs as possible.
Yeah, we'll see if Cameron, the last runner that Cronin is the culprit for, if he comes in, because then Cronin would end the day with 3 runs and 3 earned. But Jenkins trying to prohibit that. 2-0, now hitters count to Chavez with 1 out. Jenkins winds and deals. That one is at the shins of Chavez. 3-0. Bone coming to the plate. He's on deck. Likely due up top of the order. Will likely come up just in case we get a crazy double play. Here's the pitch from Jenkins in there for a called strike on the inside part of the zone. 3-1 now to Chavez. He was taken all the way there.
Definitely, Hugo. 3-1 count, see what he can do. If not, open bag, puts all the pressure on Colin Bone.
3-1 now. Jenkins kicks and fires. Swing, and this one is hit hard into center field. In on it is Castro. He makes the catch. Coming home is Cameron. The throw in is going to be cut off. They'll throw to third. Safe! Jacob Wood is safe at third. And in to score is Brody Cameron on the sac fly.
Cardinals will go up 3-1 on that. That's a great piece of hitting by Devlin Chavez. He was able to recognize the pitch he wanted. He got that fastball on the inside, and he punched it to deep center field. Got a run in, as well as Jacob Wood advancing. So now Colin Bone has the responsibility to try to knock in this run and not leave runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Hornet faithful, a little bit disgruntled with that call. 2 down now for the top of the order, Colin Bone. Here's the pitch. This one is up, is across the letters for a called strike 1 by part of the zone. Wood leads off of third. Cardinals trying to bring home all 4. So that means Cronin finishes his day with 3 earned runs. Here's the pitch. That one is inside. 1-1. Cronin, his final line, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts. So a tough one for him. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball gets Bone to go here, 1-2. Jenkins responsible for Jacob Wood. Trying to get out of the inning. The 1-2 now to Bone. 0 for 1 on the day with a flyout. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. 2-2. Deuce is wild here to Bone. Walked back in the first, reached second on an error. Here comes the pitch. That one is low, comes across the shins of Bone. 3-2 with 2 down. Bone, the right-handed hitter, waits. Jenkins kicks and delivers. Foul ball there on the 3-2 count. Bone working the count here. Great proven hitter here for the Newman Cardinals. We'll see if Jenkins goes back to that breaking ball. He went back to it there to try and get the swing and miss. 3-2 with 2 down. The pitch, swing, and this one is hit between the shortstop and third base and squirts into left field. A run comes in to score, and Bone with 2 outs delivers for the Cardinals. 4-1 Newman.
That's exactly what you want, Hugo. Great piece of hitting. He was sitting on the off-speed pitch. He got it in a 3-2 count.
Delivers. This one, Woolley thought about it, but it is skipping in the dirt. One 1-0 now to Woolley with 2 down. Cardinals in full control so far. Jenkins kicks and deals. Bone goes. Swing, and that one is a foul tip. So Bone had a good jump, would have likely gotten there safely. 2-1 though, the count.
And Coach Paul giving reassurance to Kellen Bone that he had a great jump there, and that he did. He would have been safe if that ball got past or was now touched by Woolley.
We'll see if he goes again. Maybe the use of the pitch out here. 2-1 with 2 down. The pitch. That one is way upstairs. Woolley did not go. He kept his bat on his shoulder. The Novato fans are definitely very outspoken with these calls. 3-1 with 2 down. They'll check over the runner at first. Not in time. 3-1 with 2 down. The pitch, Bone goes, swing and a miss from Woolley. Throw down to second is not in time. And Bone steals second. So now another runner in scoring position for the pitch to Jace Woolley. So now count is full with 2 down. Bone over at second. Here's the pitch from Jenkins. That one is inside and it got him. Woolley walks. So now it'll be Jamie Volzaitis. And the Cardinals, if Volzaitis reaches base, will successfully bat around. Well, St. Clair led off the inning with that walk, so just talking to Jenkins, Castang. A lot of experience behind the plate. Guy who's a veteran and well respected in the MCAL. And Hornets sit 1 game back of the Redwood Giants. 2 down now. Jenkins will toe the slab as we resume play. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Volzaitis, but it gets past Castang, and moving over to third is Bone, moving over to second, Woolley. So wild pitch there allows both runners to move up. 0-1 to Volzaitis. That slider has been nasty. Time called by the umpire, issuing a warning to the pitcher. I think maybe a balk, potentially. Balk warning. 0-1 with 2 down. Here's the pitch. That one is in there for a called strike at the belt.
Definitely a gift there, Hugo. I don't believe that had to be a strike, but he chose it definitely to be.
0-2. Yeah, the umpire's been enlarging the zone at points here. 0-2 with 2 down. Runners on second and third. The pitch. That one is inside, and it hit Jamie on the shoulder, and so the Cardinals will successfully bat around here. So a string of hit-by pitches. Gonna pull Castang back out onto the mound to talk with his righty. Gonna have to change my scorebook again as it runs over. Volzaitis reaches base. So base is loaded for Miles St. Clair. Volzaitis on first, Woolley on second, Bone on third. St. Clair one now. The pitch. Swing, and this one is grounded hard to second. One now. The pitch. Swing, and this one is grounded hard to second. Great play made by Perichetti, and he makes the throw on to first, and this side is retired. So Newman tacks on 4 here, and they come in after giving up 1 in the top of the 4th and retake the lead. We'll be back with it in the top of the 5th. 4-1 Newman. We're going to see who comes in to pitch. It's going to be Anthony Azevedo taking the ball, and Kenny Week exits the game. We'll be right back. Well, 8-9 due up here, and then the top of the order. Anthony Azevedo now into the game. Kenny Week exits after 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. That run is earned, 3 walks and a strikeout. So a solid outing for Kenny Week as he is in line for the win after that 4-run bottom of the 4th for the Cardinals. Cronin in line for the loss, but the Hornets will look to get things going. Von Barren will be the batter. Stout righty. See if he can do something against Azevedo. First appearance since coming back from injury, and he bounces that one in the dirt.
Acevedo, I played with him my freshman year. Acevedo, a very good pitcher. He's a flamethrower. When accurate, he can really be an ace for your team.
The 1-0. That one is right down Main Street. Strike one. Azevedo throwing some gas here. He's been topping out in the near the 90s. It was 89 last time I checked. I think he might have gotten back to 90. His arm is stronger, definitely coming back from that injury as he fires this one just low. That area just below the knees has been a controversial spot earlier today. Jackson Cronin got a few of those calls. Kenny Wheat got a couple, and then there are also a couple no calls. Here's the pitch, and this one is swung on and hit grounded foul down the right field line. 2-2. I understand like the Novato fans here because the right below the knee was called so much in the first couple innings, and then in past few it hasn't been. So definitely interesting. Azevedo, the 2-2. This one is swung on and hit softly out into right field. Over on it in shallow right field is Jace Woolley. He makes the play.
That was a great play by Jace Woolley. He was practically running all the way over to the right baseline, and he was able to get it.
Yeah, so now Gio Castang stands in 0 for 2 today with a fly out to left and a ground out to third. Azevedo starting his outing pretty well. Here's the first pitch. As a breaking ball that just falls below and inside to Castang. See what Novato can do, try and rally back. They've got the top of the order due up. Here's the pitch. That one is in the dirt. 2-0. Lynch and then Oliver due here. Lynch is 1 for 2. Oliver 0 for 2. So the Cardinals have done a good job at limiting these Hornet bats. Only 2 hits in the on the day for Novato. Here's the pitch. That one is in there, called strike. See, there you go. You see the right below the knee, the spot again. Not called against Von Barren, but called here against Castang. So a little bit of inconsistency with the zone here. Here comes the pitch. That one is just low there. Tried to get Castang to chase. Went right back to his original spot, just a little lower in the last pitch, and now we get a 3-1 count. 3-1. Acevedo, the senior, kicks and delivers. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. So Castang walks, and now Hunter Lynch will come to the plate.
And it looks like the Cardinals are going to be setting up double play defense as Lynch heads to the plate. It's going to be a very tough at-bat. Lynch is kind of a power hitter here, and if he's able to connect on one of those Acevedo fastballs, the Cardinals could be in trouble.
Yeah, Marky Douglas going to head out to the pen here, maybe throw a little bit. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. I don't know if they'd put Douglas in. As you look forward for the schedule for the Cardinals, it's going to be interesting. Next week, you know, a very big week. Windsor on Wednesday and Friday. As this pitch gets past Wood and moving up to second on the passed ball is Castang.
That takes away that double play opportunity. So now Acevedo's got to really lock in. I know he's coming back from injury, but if he's able to kind of lock in that fastball in the inner part of the zone, then he's going to be able to get out of this jam.
We'll see what the pitching schedule is here for the Cardinals because, yeah, at Windsor on Wednesday and then at home on Friday against the Jaguars at 4. Acevedo waits the pitch. Breaking ball just a little inside there.
And if Pratt doesn't pitch here today, Hugo, I would assume that Will Pratt would probably pitch against Windsor, right?
Yeah, probably on Wednesday you would see Pratt, and then, I don't know, probably Haile on Friday, but that'll be interesting to see. Acevedo gets ready. The pitch is outside, 3-1 with 1 down now to Anthony.
Let's go, one at a time.
Hunter Lynch standing in, 3-1 count for Acevedo with 1 down, a runner on second. Casting leads away. The 3-1. Acevedo checks on the runner, the pitch. Swing, and this one is chopped foul off to the right.
Now you have a full count here, Hugo. Lynch is probably looking to hit a fly ball, maybe advance the runner to do a job so that you have a runner close to a scoring position and kind of pass the torch to Oliver on deck.
Yeah, that would be huge for Novato. Julian Oliver, one of their better hitters. Power hitter, 3-2. Swing and a miss! And Anthony Acevedo gets his first strikeout coming back from injury, and it was a beautiful one. Got Lynch's bat going way early, as now Julian Oliver will look to stand in.
Great strikeout. I believe that was his splitter. Could have been a slider, but Anthony Acevedo is one of the few people on this team with a multi-pitch arsenal, and that was just a great strikeout to kind of get close to getting out of the jam with 2 outs here.
Yeah, 2 down, runner on second. Anthony Acevedo, the pitch to Oliver is upstairs. Oliver 0 for 2, flew out to right and then had a pop out in the infield to shortstop. Acevedo sets himself and steps off as Casting is looked back to the base at second. Oliver trying to come in clutch here for the Hornets and bring them back within 2. Here comes the pitch to Oliver. Check swing, he did not go. That one in the dirt.
He was close to, though, Hugo. That's the important thing. Acevedo has, like I mentioned before, a great pitch arsenal. And if he can get all his weapons working at once, it's really no way to stop him. He's really, really good.
2-0. The count now to Oliver. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3-0.
Just got to get that command back. Him and Week kind of struggled with that this year. But if Acevedo can get out of this, that would be fortunate.
Could be a save situation if they choose to bring in Jace Woolley in the 7th, but 6th inning, they're going to need to hold it down. We'll see if they let Acevedo go more than an inning coming back from injury. Here's the pitch. That one, fastball right down Main Street. 3-1 now the count. Anthony Acevedo. The righty on the mound. Facing Oliver. Here's the pitch. 3-1 is down low, and Oliver walks. So 2 walks on the day for Acevedo. Just regaining his composure as now Griffin Vorhaus will come to the plate. Now coach to talk with the right-hander.
Yeah, Flowers is probably telling Anthony Acevedo that you just got to be on your stuff, got to be able to locate if you want to stay in the game. Obviously, it means a lot to Anthony, right? He already got his first strikeout coming back from injury, but just being able to relocate, take a deep breath and refocus on the challenge at hand, which is just getting in and out. If that means getting the ground out to Colin Bone, a guy that you can trust on the infield, or any guy in the infield, actually, because they're all very trustworthy. But just being able to trust your guys and be able to pitch to get out of this jam.
Yeah, we'll see if he can do it here. Vorhaus, one of the better hitters on this team, and then we'll see once he gets to Cronin's original spot in the order, which is quite a ways. We'll see what Novato looks to do in the bottom of the fifth. I mean, J.P. Harmon, he threw 6 innings scoreless on Tuesday, the Ole Miss commit. We'll see if they decide to bring him in potentially to try and hold the Cardinals in the 6th and the 7th. Here's the pitch. That one's outside. 1-0. One outside pitch there to Vorhaus. 0 for 1, walked his last time up. Cardinals have given 5 free passes to these Novato hitters. Only allowed 2 hits, though. Vorhaus now with a runner in scoring position. Acevedo checks on the runner. Here's the pitch. That one low and outside, 2-0.
Acevedo not missing by much. That, I believe, is a splitter. That splitter is missing only by a little bit. So if he's just able to pull it in a little bit closer to the zone, it might be more hittable, but you still got to think that's the more desired option.
Let's see if Castaigne goes with the righty at the plate. 2-0, 2 down. He's going to check back towards second. 3-0 now as that pitch goes outside. Vorhaus struggling here. St. Mary's JV team has arrived, getting ready to play Cardinal Newman JV.
Head coach Tom Harland already in the dugout and getting prepared for that game, thinking through, talking to his teammates, excuse me.
3-0, and that one is called strike across the letters for Vorhaus. Vorhaus thought he had walked. 3-1 now. I mean, obviously, only one open bag. Oliver on first, Castaigne on second. You don't want to load the bases here for Trevor Cleary, although he did ground out into a double play his last time up. Here's the pitch. This one is popped up on the infield, and Vorhaus not happy. Over on it is Caden Owen, and he makes the catch on the infield grass. So the side is retired. Novato does strand 2 base runners with it, though, and the Cardinals will come right back up looking to extend this 4-1 lead. You're listening to Cardinal Newman Baseball on the Hugo Sports 360 Radio Network. And we're back, bottom of the 5th inning, in full swing here as we have a new pitcher on the mound. It's the junior Scott Rios, 9.69 ERA in 3 appearances, 1-1 on the year, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 6 walks, 2 strikeouts, 7 hits given up. So Novato, we'll see what they can do here as this one, first pitch to Caden Owen, skips in the dirt. Cardinals batted around in the 4th, so we'll see if Owen can start another streak here for Newman. He stands back in.
Sort of authority on the mound, but it's going to be a challenge going with Caden Owen, who had a double, and Brody Cameron, who had a single in this last inning. So we'll see what happens.
2-0 now from Rios. That one is inside, 3-0. Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals, they're going to have some bullpen action. You got Cooper McIntosh up. He likely will come in the 6th, and then don't know who will come in the 7th, depending on how this game goes. But honestly, if Newman can score a few more runs, I would be content with Anthony Azevedo going back out there. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off. Low and inside, and Owen swung at that one. 3-1 now to Caden Owen. Doubled his last time up, ended up scoring the next batter. Here comes the pitch to Owen. That one is in there, called strike at the knees. So full count now to Owen.
Elliott out for his single. Thought he was going to go 2, but it was a very good piece of hitting as he's going to pass it to Brody Cameron here, passing the torch.
Cameron 1 for 2, had a single, brought home 2 runs his last time up. Here's the pitch from Rios. That one right down the middle for a called strike 1. Owen leads away at first. He had a couple stolen bases up in Ukiah on Monday. We'll see if he can get going again. They will check over.
And as we'll see here, Hugo, Caden Owen has been taught how to lead with 2 strong steps and to keep on moving your feet so that you are aware of what's going on.
0-1 here. Here's the pitch. Cameron shows bunt. It skips in the dirt as he pulls it back. 1-1. Approaching the 2nd hour of this game, and Newman really in full control here. 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch. Caden Owen goes, and it's fouled off by Cameron. So hit and run in effect there. Owen will return. Good jump. Likely if Cameron doesn't swing at that, that gets past Casting, because Casting was already focused on the throw and didn't field the ball as it went back to the backstop. 1-2 now. Rios located that fastball at the knees. We'll see if he goes back to it. Here's the pitch. That one skips in there, gets away from Casting. Caden Owen is going. Casting the throw down to second. Not in time. And Owen moves up on the wild pitch.
Owen is quick on his feet for a 6'3" guy like himself, so that's definitely a plus that Coach DeBenedetti has to be proud of having a first baseman that's agile and athletic enough to steal a bag when you have a passed ball.
4 Newman runners have moved up as a result of pass balls and wild pitches today. So some tough breaks for the battery. The pitch, this one is outside. 3-2 now to Cameron. Well, the question coming to playoffs is definitely going to be, oh, well, what happens if J.P. Harmon starts the championship game against Newman for Novato, and what will happen there? Well, the Newman defense has been electric today. Here's the pitch as Cameron skies this one off the payoff into shallow right field over on it is Parachioti, and he makes the catch, and Cameron is retired. But if Harmon starts that game, a bunch of people are saying, oh, well, what if Novato breaks off 2 or 3 runs and Newman wins narrowly? You know, what happens if Harmon almost got to that D2 championship game to face Rancho last year, but were beaten in the semifinals by Acalanes. Trying to get back there. They won 3 consecutive championships from 22 to 24. Here's the pitch from Rios. This one skips in the dirt. 1-1 now to Wood. Wood 0 for 1, walked back in the 4th inning. Now here in the 5th, looking to plate a run for the Cardinals. Big gap between center and left field and between the shortstop and third baseman. So Wood has a chance to pull this thing. Here's the pitch. That one is in there. Called strike across the letters.
That's definitely a controversial call there in my opinion, Hugo, but Blue gets to call what he wants, so not my choice.
Yeah, 1-2, 2 down. They've definitely been enlarging the zone a little bit for these games, and umpire might have a hot date after this. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? No. Check back to second. Is not in time. Owen was just in under the tag. That was a great check from Casting, and Wood is rung up now by the infield umpire. So swing and a miss there. A big strikeout for Rios, as now Julian Servin will come to the plate. Servin 0 for 1, had a sac bunt that moved runners into scoring position his last time up. 2 down now for him. Owen leads away at second. Rios kicks and delivers. Servin swings and fouls this one off to the right side. Out of play. 0-1 now with 2 down. Marky Douglas still warming there. Cooper McIntosh called back. 30 pitches on Thursday for McIntosh in relief. See if he comes in to relieve against Novato. 0-1 with 2 down. Rios steps off.
If I'm Coach DiBenedetti, I think I go McIntosh here, and then maybe to close it out, you bring in your ace, Marky Douglas, just to secure the win and go above 500 for the season.
Yeah, that would be a huge, huge confidence boost for this Newman team. They've been under 500 all year due to that gauntlet of a schedule they've played, Novato included. But they're looking to move to 9-8 with a win here. Here's the pitch. That one is outside. That's kind of been the trend with the Newman team the last couple years, is they've been under 500 for much of the beginning of the season, and then around midseason kind of turn it around, win a ton of games in a row, and ultimately, end the season on a 15, 16 game win streak. The 1-1 with 2 down. The pitch. This one is grounded hard to third base. Great play made by Cleary. Throw on to first. Not in time. Lynch fumbled the pick. Caden Owen comes around. He will score. And Newman on the RBI infield single from Julian Servin. Newman adds on 5-1 now. That was a great play made by Cleary, and he almost could have just eaten it. Lynch messed up the pick there on the hop. There's tough throw, tough play to make. That one ultimately registered a single, not an error against Novato, because it was just such a tough play. Great play, though, made by Clear. It was a hard grounder, and he laid out to get it.
Yeah, as a third baseman, that's a really tough play to make, and he did as best as he could.
Now 2 down, Devlin Chavez, he bloops this one into left center field. It gets down, rounding second on his horse, headed for third, and sliding in safely is Julian Servin. A 2-out rally developing here for the Cardinals. Top of the order, 2 up.
And that's just such a great job by Servin as well as Chavez. The guys in the 8 and 9 spot making productivity for you as they're sitting on third and first with now the one hitter, Colin Bone, star shortstop. Maybe he can continue to this party to give a little bit more of a lead to the Cardinals.
Well, this has been the question all year for Newman, is can they get the bottom of the order, the outfield, to get going? Hasn't been a problem in the past few years, was a problem this year, as this first pitch from Rios is just outside to Colin Bone. Bone 1 for 2, walked in the first, then had a single and brought home a run in the fourth. Newman trying to carry this on in the fifth here. Infield straight up, outfield pretty straight up here for Bone. The pitch, that one in at the knees for a called strike one, 1-1. But yeah, Newman, I mean, they've really got it going towards the end of the season. This kind of happens. This is a trend for the Cardinals. In that 2024 state championship team, they were unbelievable. Came together the last minute, 15 games in a row. They won and won state. And Newman, they come back from the Boris. They're such an electric team. And to come out of this week, which is kind of a bit of a gauntlet week in the region, 2-1 with 2 down here. Here's the pitch from Rios. That one's chopped foul down the left field line for a Bone. But a gauntlet week. They play both Novato teams and then play Ukiah on Monday. It was supposed to just be a 2-game week as the Cardinals had a bye in league play, but Ukiah was able to, after the rain out, Ukiah was able to reschedule that game on Monday as Rios skips this one in the dirt. 3-2 with 2 down. Cardinals got a 6-3 win in that one behind Markey Douglas, and then a great pitching performance from Haile, McIntosh, Cameron, and Larson on Thursday to down San Marin. Now Novato. 3-2 with 2 down, now to Bone. Here's the pitch. That one skips a 3-2 count we've seen from Colin Bone, and he walks on this one. And now runners loading the bags here. First, second, and third for Jace Woolley.
Number 17, Jace Woolley.
Woolley had bases loaded twice last game against San Marin and had some unfortunate at-bats. He did walk home a run, though, at one point. 2 down. Now as Rios looks to recover here, Woolley was hit his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. That one is outside, and he leaves it there, 1-0. A walk in the third, hit by pitch in the fourth. We'll see if he reaches base here in the fifth. We bring up Jamie Vozaitis and just a cascade of runs. The magic number for Newman is 7 in the inning. If they can get to 11 the game. Chavez on second, Bone on first. The pitch, this one is inside to Woolley. Count moves to 2-1. Rios trying to bounce back here after giving up the run. Rios kicks and delivers. That one outside. Good job by Casting to lay out behind the plate, not let it get past him. That could have been a devastating change of affairs for Novato. They really this game within the cushion of 4 runs. And try and get their bats hot again. The pitch from Rios. This one is swung on and hit high and foul down the third base line. Over on it in foul territory is Trevor Cleary, and he makes the play. So the Cardinals are retired. They do play 1. However, they do leave all 3 stranded for the second consecutive inning. We'll be right back. 5-1, Newman leads after 5. Welcome back here. 6th inning set up to go here. Cleary, Garcia, and the pitcher spot due up. We'll likely see a pinch hitter in that. I don't know if we'll see Rios batting, but nevertheless, Cooper McIntosh now comes in. A solid inning of work and relief from Anthony Azevedo. Secures himself a hold 5-1. Here's the pitch, and McIntosh pumps in a first pitch strike to Cleary. McIntosh had himself quite the day against San Marin on Thursday. 2 innings pitched, had a strikeout, let up no hits, was just electric, no walks. Here's the pitch, and this one is swung on and hit foul straight back by Cleary. Marky Douglas now throwing the full 60 out in the bullpen for the Cardinals, so we'll likely see him come in to close things out. 0-2 now quickly to Trevor Cleary. The kick and the delivery, that one is high and outside. Off double.
Fastballs and being able to produce for this Newman team. Fastballs and being able to produce for this Newman team.
Here comes the pitch. That one skips in the dirt. 1-1. Dirt. 1-1. McIntosh collects himself. Garcia waits. Reached on the air. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled off to the right and out of play. 3-2 now, or 2-2, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, 2-2, I believe. Yep, 2-2. Excuse me, 1-2. McIntosh collects himself. The pitch now. That one below the knees, so now 2-2. The scoreboard had it wrong. Scoreboard had 2-1. The umpire at least doing a great job. 2-2 now. McIntosh waits. Leading away from second is Cleary. He collects himself, kicks and delivers. Check swing, and that one is fouled off into the netting. Harmon on deck trying to get the Novato Hornets into a harmony here. Garcia waits. The 2-2 coming from McIntosh. The offering, swing, and this one is a bloop into center field. Coming in on is Chavez. He will check up and make the play. Moving over to third is Trevor Cleary, and it's a single for Cohen third for J.P. Harmon.
And this is exactly what you do not want here, Hugo. McIntosh is an elite pitcher, but with runners on third and first after giving up back-to-back hits and now having to face the Ole Miss commit, you're not going to want to be in this position. So you're going to have to try to get out of it with only 0 outs. It's going to take a lot, but we'll see if the youngsters got it.
You know, Harmon's a good pitcher, good batter. Great arm for him. We'll see if he comes in the 6th here. Here's the pitch from McIntosh. First pitch is a slider outside, low and outside. 1-0 to the Ole Miss commit. Harmon tops out at 96 on the mound. The pitch from McIntosh. Swing, and this one is lined on a hop, picked by Bone. It goes in and out of his glove. The throw to first. Not in time. He's safe. The throw home. He's out.
And that was a very, very, very close call at home. I think that the manager actually might be going to check on that. Nope, he will not be. It was a very close call. If you play MLB The Show 25, he lifted up his arm to avoid the tag, but according to the umpire at home, he was out. So very good base running, but not enough, and it gives Cooper McIntosh a bit of relief not giving up a run.
So Pericchiotti comes up. Yeah, I mean, I got to say, that's pretty Cleary did not get a good jump there. He kind of waited for Bone to throw the ball, and you got to do that, but at the same time, you can Chet, you can basically be halfway down the third base line, and he would have come home and scored if he was halfway down. But no, he was still hanging on third base, and Bowen checked on him, stared, and made the throw. He came home late. Owen fires in a beautiful one, and Wood places the tag. So 0-1 now to Paracchiotti, and that one's outside. Gives McIntosh some confidence now as he pumps in a called ball. 1-1 with one down.
I will say, if you are McIntosh, you have a lot of trust in your infield because Volzaitis, Bone, Ruley, and Owen are some of the best players at the position in the NCS.
1-1. That's called strike at the knees. Got the outside part of the plate. 1-2 now to Paracchiotti. The Cardinals' luck could flip right here if McIntosh can get out of this.
Sixth.
So we'll see who Novato brings out to pitch here in the bottom of the sixth. We'll step aside. 5-1, the Cardinals still lead it. You're listening to Cardinal Newman Baseball on the Hugo Sports 360 Radio Network. And we're back. Gio Castang now on the mound. He moves to toe the rubber from behind the plate. Now behind the plate is Don Paracchiotti. He moves from second. Hunter Lynch moves to second. And now at first is JP Harmon. So we'll see how all of this fares for Novato. So Jamie Volzaitis, Miles St. Clair, and Caden Owen due up here in the... I mean, obviously they're looking to go win out in league. They'll be back here on Friday against Windsor. Here's the pitch from Castang. This one is a soft grounder over to third, fielded by Cleary. Cleary the throw on to first in time to retire Volzaitis. Good start to the sixth here at Clyde P. Smith Field for Novato.
As Miles St. Clair is going to step up. As we talked about earlier, Miles did have a great game on Thursday against San Marin. He's been a little bit quiet today. He's had a run and a walk today, but he's looking for that hit.
Yeah, 0 for 2 as he stands in here. Pole hitter that can definitely spray it, though. Got a lot of power, good contact. Here's the pitch. That one skips in the dirt. 1-0. Cade Leck now. As Caden Owen is going to head back to the dugout.
Looks like Cade Larson might come into left field for Brody Cameron. Yeah, considering he's hitting in that spot.
Potentially, yeah. Oh, yeah, Larson is, or Cameron is sat down. No, he does have his helmet, though. So Caden Owen, we'll see. I don't know. Griffin Longton also, as this pitch gets past the catcher, Paracchiotti. 2-1. Two and one with one down. Here's the pitch. In there, called strike. 2-2. Yeah, so Larson, so Cameron is going to hit, and Larson is going to hit for Owen. So Owen's day is done, 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball blown right past St. Clair's bat. And now it'll be Cade Larson for the Cardinals. Yeah, we could see Larson come in. I don't know. Owen might just come in to play first in the defensive half of the 7th. You can pinch hit once. Legend Haile also out there throwing a bullpen. Here's the pitch. That one, breaking ball, falls right in. Larson thought that one was coming for his shoulder. 0-1 with 2 down. Here comes the pitch. That one upstairs. 1-1, high and inside. Well, actually, no. Thistle in the. Well, actually, no. Thistle in the hole. Potentially hitting for. Nope. Brody Cameron's going to take his stuff off, and it is Thistle on deck. So we'll see if we have some defense off, and it is Thistle on deck. So we'll see if we have some defensive changes here.
Yes, he is, dude.
And we're back. Marky Douglas is on the mound to try and close things out for the Cardinals. He'll face the 9-1-2 hitters for Novato. Jace Woolley is up in the pen. So Griffin Longton will take over at second base. Some changes in the outfield. Luke Munsell comes in and left for Brody Cameron, and Jack Wedge comes in for Devlin Chavez. So their days are done. We might see Woolley re-enter the game as a pitcher just in case things go bad here. But Marky Douglas, the ace, he pitched 6 full for Newman on Monday, and he was incredible for the Cardinals against Ukiah. As now Owen Van Buren comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Douglas. That one's low at the shins of Von Barron, and the 7th inning is underway here. Newman can close things out. They would move to 9-8 on the year, 4-1 at home, and they would move into the number 1 seed in the Division II playoff standings. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off down the right field line. Over on it is Caden Owen from first base, and he makes the play. So 1 down, 2 outs away for the Cardinals. Novato, if things stay consistent, would move to 12-6 on the year, and then 5-2 on the road. Their last road loss was against San Marin a month ago on March 20th. However, these games don't really, in the grand scheme of things, matter for these teams as the pitch in there for a called strike to Gio Casting, the top of the order. This game matters. Turns on this one. Deep into left field. Back on it is Munsell. He makes the catch. And now Hunter Lynch will come to the plate.
That was a great catch by Luke Munsell. He's able to track it with his own mistake right at him and made the catch.
Stepping up to the plate, first baseman Hunter Lynch, number 25.
2 down now for Hunter Lynch, the last man up. And Marky Douglas, if he can make quick work of Lynch, he could definitely pitch, if not Wednesday, then Friday. Here's the pitch. This one is hit into foul territory. Over on it is Owen, and he will make the catch, and that's the ball game. Stranded on base. The winner is Kenny Week. Stranded on base. The winner is Kenny Week. He gets a huge win to add to his total. The loss goes to Jackson Cronin. Solid outing from him. The final time of the game is 2 hours and 24 minutes. Any final thoughts, Paul?
Well, Hugo, I think it was a great game for the Cardinals. The Novato played very well, but the Cardinals learned some things about their team, definitely in the pitching staff. Kenny Week was able to get over the hump in his inconsistency in throwing strikes, and he's able to only give up 1 run. We got to see Anthony Acevedo come back from injury and only have a strikeout and 2 walks in 1 inning pitched, no runs given, no hits given. And then we eventually got to see the star-stunned sophomore, Markey Douglas, come in and close it for the Cardinals to clinch a 5-1 win. The total's on
St. Mary's. But we will wish them luck, and we have prom to get to. So thank you all for joining us here on the Hugo